Hey guys, so today we got a really cool thing and we're talking about leadership, and it's simply going ahead and it is mastering high impact level leadership. So communicating with people, resonating with people, what are the things that your teammates want, how to interact, how to show up for them in a very special way and make them, uh, feel appreciated. And this even goes to your home. Like, how do you get it to where you show up for your kids and show up on purpose and be exactly what your kids are wanting? So we got the leadership program, and here we go. Number one, what you want to do is you want to think about the worst meeting you've ever attended. Was it too long? Um, Unorganized? Maybe it lacked a purpose. I'd like to say that I was never one of the ones responsible for that, but yeah, have there been those meetings and, thinking about it and what are the things that kind of made it not great? Um, what are the things that really made it amazing? Here is a fun stat for you guys that you really could enjoy. And it is that the average employee spends 31 hours per week uh, in unproductive meetings. Uh, that's 31 hours per month in unproductive meetings, things that, they feel like maybe, they weren't done well. And something that I really think that's kind of cool is with Pink Power, we've developed process and systems to where we've helped you guys optimize and be more efficient and do things better, and we're continuing to figure out and see the processes of what things will really help us succeed, what things will really help us grow to do amazing work. And here is another thing, another stat or thing. What's one thing that you hate about meetings? So again, you can message with me. Let me know, like, hey, here's some things I hate about message. And in this chat, if you guys want to go ahead and drop an emoji, a little reaction of like, expressing, maybe it's the wondering when it's going to be done, or how long is it going to be? Does there have a real purpose for this? Did people actually think before they started it, like, oh, like what is really going on? So, here is another thing. Real life example could be a character, could be a chaotic meeting versus a high impact or productive meeting. So, um, you know, here it's kind of cool. I get to go to see meetings, they got that 31 hours of meetings. And so some of the meetings that I find that really resonate with me is where there's a clear purpose. We understand the flow of it, and people, are in the habit of doing it at a consistent time. So, some meetings it's monthly, others it's weekly. Sometimes there's quarterly or annually meetings. And then we have really quick, brief ones that can last 5 to 10 minutes in the company that are daily. Um, and we know what the task is, what the purpose is of it. And so it helps us be able to see and gain a better future of it. Um, you know, so here is a cool thing. There's always a formula for effective leadership meetings. I'm going to kind of share with you over the next little steps about what some of those formulas are and how to achieve the things with it. So, one of the things is, let's go and hide that one up there. The secret to a great meeting is a structured format that everyone is kept focused on the task and accountable. So, some of the things that we really like in our structure is, again, before the meeting begins, people know the agenda, they understand the flow of it, they understand how long each person is going to talk for. And then they also understand where in the meeting it could actually go a little bit longer and it would still be awesome, because it's understood clearly about what's happening and how it's happening. And so one thing that you want to do is you do want to have a why of the meeting. So what is the purpose of the meeting, and pre ahead of time set up what that purpose is. So again, with our level 10 meeting each week, the purpose of it is to give a brief overview of the things that were achieved by you in the last week, and then also what you have next week that you're gearing up to accomplish. And so it's a good time to celebrate the wins. Uh, you know, so again, it has a clear why. Not all meetings are created equal. And here's a few things that you want to ask yourself about the meetings. One thing is, what's the goal of this meeting? Um, Again, the level 10 meeting, it's a brief overview of the week of how things are going, the excitement, and what went great. The daily meetings, it's a different thing. It actually gets into a little bit of the nitty gritty of like, okay, what are the things that we did amazingly well yesterday? And what are the things that, we're targeting on getting so that way we can drive the mission forward in the company and achieve the goals, achieve the success that we want to see. Here's another one. Who really needs to be there? With our daily meetings, with my key staff people, different people are in different meetings because not everyone needs to be at the level 10 meeting. We do have it to where it's the whole office comes in together to talk about the week. But, so for example, do you really need to have that person in that meeting? Or is that an unfair use of their time? Does that maximize their time or does that not maximize it? Another question could be is if that person is not in the meeting, what might have to be repeated in order for the person to understand? And then sometimes, you don't have to have someone in the meeting. It could just be send the person a brief summary of it and say, hey, look this over. What do you think of it? And a lot of times the teammates, you know, based upon certain factors, they could be like, oh, yeah, that's actually a good plan. I'm glad you guys already thought of it and kind of hashed it out without me. And here is another important thing. How long should it be? So, again, what we found out in our company for us, a lot of times the meetings, historically, it's very easy to have them long and drag out. But we found out that, the short brief, oh, here's the action items, and then jump away. And if it is something that's a huge task that maybe requires multiple meetings, multiple people, having those brief, short meetings of just impact moments of like, okay, here's what's going to run and happen. Sometimes you do need to set out the quarterly agenda, um, you know, but again, with those, you want to know specifically how long the meeting's going to last and the implementation steps. And that's one awesome thing about your company with you having the big goal for the year and everyone knowing what that big goal is. You can say, okay, how's this item going to drive us towards that goal? How's it going to help us achieve it? And so, we can see through simple things of, hmm, yeah, that will drive us there. That fits with our mission, vision, core values, and it fits. Or maybe it's one of those things that mm, we might want to reassess that. So here is the framework and how to run a high level impact meeting. So number one, you could use this 5-part structure and it makes every leadership meeting productive and engaging. So starting with the strong and root it in success. So you want to come in with a clear plan, with a good thing, go around, have everyone share 2 company wins to build the momentum. So again, the level 10 meeting, we're celebrating the things that, oh, here's what I achieved last week. Awesome. Is there any additional things that you succeeded at? What are company wins as a whole that you see like have done it? And then also we talk about the company goals and then maybe a struggle and what's your couple things that you're hitting this next time around. And so it keeps meetings positive, engaging from the start. People love hearing about the positive things that are happening, and it is awesome. If something exciting just recently happened in your life, hey, message me, let me know. I want to know about it. I want to celebrate with you every win that you get because those are exciting. It's good to have the celebrations, the fun things, and sometimes your celebration could just simply be like, hey, I got to take my kid to the mall over the weekend. And so it's great having those celebrations, those wins, those victories. Another thing that you want to do is have accountability check in. So again, did we follow through? Were those things accomplished? And you know, it's a simple thing. I like goals that are smart, so they're specific, measurable, accountable, relatable, and they are time bound. With the SMART acronym, it helps to provide criteria of, even when you're setting a goal, is this actually a real good goal that we have, or is this something that's just kind of blurry? So you're going to want to go ahead and you want to revisit the action steps from the last meeting. What did you commit to, and did you complete it? And sometimes isn't totally completed and why was it not completed, or why not. And here's a little pro tip, to keep it non-judgmental. Um, so it's about the progress. It's not about punishment, and it's just simply, oh, here's how we're improving and doing a little bit better each time. So another thing that's a big part of the meeting is the big rocks, and so it's discussion on the priorities of the targets. You know, are we hitting them? If you know what those big rocks are, you're discussing them with people. It helps them set their weekly targets. It helps with them set their goals. And it is awesome to see when people have that clear vision, the clear purpose. You know, I'm reminded of every couple years, our nuclear powered ships in the water, the whole entire crew is replaced by a set of people that are like 18 to 21, and maybe they've never actually been on one before, but because people are understanding the clear purpose, the clear mission, the clear vision, and the clear goals, they're able to achieve it. They're able to have that alignment and drive things forward and succeed and have an amazing thing. So again, big rock discussions. What are the big things? So each leader needs to share priorities for the next 2 weeks. So here's what we're achieving. Here's where we're going. And, this then enables a thing of discussion of roadblocks and needed support. So, if it's one of those things that with me in the meeting today, we were talking about a new video series that we got coming up, and I was able to go ahead, let the team know about it, and kind of let them know, hey, here's some priorities, here's some objectives that we're going to hit on this. And, you know, on social media, I'm going to need help interacting with people, finding out what are the exact wins, what are the exact things that will help that series drive forward. And I gave us key specific metrics of, oh, we're going to hit this number of views on these videos in the next week, so that way we could clearly understand what was going on. So you want to keep the meeting on truly what matters. So staying on focus, by having the big rocks discussion, it does just that. It helps you understand where things are going. It's going to help you with problem solving, blocking. So you're going to also tactically discuss what are the things that, okay, what are those resistances that might stop you from hitting it, and how to achieve and hit the things beyond it. So here's something else you're going to want to do. Identify 1 to 3 critical challenges as a team. So you can talk through as a team. We can find out and discuss what are the things that will block us. How do we overcome that? How do we achieve that big goal? And you're going to use an open discussion, an open dialogue, and brainstorming to find a solution. So, key specifically, we want each one of you guys to participate, to kind of give a little bit of creative idea. If it's all about one person in the company, that person leaves, everything falls apart. We want, it's the unified effect, because each one of you guys are creative. You have great ideas. That's why I brought you on, because you're smart. You know what you're doing. And, we need your input because you have a different angle. And so it's neat having that interaction, that discussion, finding out what each person thinks. Sometimes it might just be like, hey, I really actually agree with what this other person said. Um, so here is a little bit of engagement tip for you guys. And it is encourage leaders to challenge ideas, not just to agree, to avoid conflict. So something I really love, that Ty Lopez, I was listening to him, and he was like, look, I don't argue an argument until I can argue both sides of it, because both sides have a great point. And, reason, and we need that kind of back and forth to find out why things would work, why things maybe someone's like, I think that's a stupid idea. But we need the positive feedback, coming back and forth to understand really where to go. So again, you're gonna have your closing and your next steps. And so it's just simply aligning everyone, getting them back on track of here's what the thing is, and here's how we do it. So something that's going to be an important piece of what we're doing is we're actually summarizing the key takeaways and action steps. So those action steps, they're going to help drive our company forward. um, especially in the weekly thing, we're going to have it to where it's going to enable each person to understand where the clear focus is that the company's going. What are some of the subtle nuances for that week that are a little bit different than last week that we can drive forward? And it's going to help us understand, you know, how to just simply hit it. So each person is going to commit to an action item. With our level 10 meetings, a lot of times we have people pre committed of the action items that they're going to be taking. And so that way, you know, it drives it forward. And a lot of us will pick up from that meeting just a few little things, little tweaks that we can do. And so it's awesome having, you guys just, say, oh, yeah, I'll take that idea. I'll do that little piece of the puzzle, because it says we piece out the puzzle, it makes it a lot easier. Um, you know, if you as one person decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and eat a whole pie. You eat that pie in one sitting, you're gonna have a little bit of stomach ache. If you have 10 people eat a pie, well, you know what? No one You enjoyed the flavor of the pie, but no one really is going to gain much weight because of that. So it's awesome having those things of, every day you guys are showing up, taking just the little pieces of the pie, making it easier for us. And here's another thing that makes a really strong meeting. It's having a meeting recap sent within 24 hours of who's doing what, when they're doing what, how they're accomplishing what. And something that I think that's awesome that we're doing with the level 10 meeting is, again, because people are pre-committing, it kind of lets everyone know and see and understand what's going on. And this is something that we need to do a little bit better of, is sharing, those tweaks, the action items, ensuring that it's consistently, faithfully done. One of the great ways that I've heard that people are doing this is they can have someone that's an official note taker. With AI nowadays, something that's awesome is that it can actually go into the meeting and it can log the different action items that are going to be done from the meeting. And so that way everyone clearly understands the steps and processes of what's going to happen. So here is another option, and it is a rapid fire meeting makeover. And you might be wondering, well, what are the steps to that one? And so you drop one word that describes your company's leadership meetings. So, message us. If you, especially as you're watching this, you're watching on your own, it'd be awesome to have you in our communication channel. Just drop us the thing of saying, like, hey, here's, I think, one word that would describe our company meetings in an amazing way. And maybe it's a time that I get to improve, step up the game at Pink Power. Maybe it's something that, we're already doing really awesome. And something that I think that's awesome is that Pink Power Brands is committed, and we're delivering high quality, excellent cleaning and pest control services in the Dayton, Ohio area. So, Pink Power Cleaning expands from Springboro, Ohio, up to Sydney, Ohio. We cover cities such as Centerville, Troy, Trotwood, E-Town, not E-Town. Um, we it's awesome, all the cities that Pink Power Pest Control, Pink Power Cleaning is able to deliver the best quality cleaning, and Pink Power Pest Control is able to deliver the best quality pest control in the Dayton, Ohio area. So if you know someone that needs cleaning in Dayton, Ohio, or if someone needs pest control in Dayton, Ohio, Pink Power is a great place. We love to just help people enjoy their lives. And you can connect with us on social media at Pink Power Brands or Pink Power Pest Control, Pink Power Cleaning. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to give you value, and we're probably even going to share some tips that you could use on your own to make your place just that much more amazing. Maybe help your family enjoy a night or a weekend more, because we've taken away the stress of the cleaning. We've taken away the issues of those critters. So, here is the next point we got coming up, though. If you could eliminate one thing from meetings, what would it be? Again, message me. Let me know. Maybe it's something that it's a way for us to improve. We love your feedback. So thank you. Uh, so here's something. What's the biggest meeting time waster you've experienced? So I would love to get feedback on this of in Pink Power, what's the biggest uh, time waster that you've experienced? And then also in other companies that you've done, what are some of the biggest time wasters that you've experienced that, with Pink Power, maybe we need to be aware of that we can also avoid those same scenarios? If it's something that you don't feel like it's an issue for Pink Power, by all means, we don't necessarily need to hear the worst that everyone's done. Um, but something that we have is, we want to have quality thought driven questions. So questions that help. So here's some of the examples. Um, how do you balance keeping meetings efficient while allowing space for discussions? Um, you know, um, how can leaders hold each other accountable without micromanaging? What's one thing that you challenge about your next leadership meeting? Or what's one thing that you would change about your next leadership meeting? So, what would be the thing that you're like, we've done good in these 5, 10 other areas, you know, but here would be the one thing. This is a great time just to take out your phone. Go ahead, uh, just pop it into notes like, hey, here's something that I think we could change. What I love doing is actually just direct messaging my crew. Maybe right now is not the time for you to direct message someone, but you could have it to where it's delayed send. So with Slack, you can delay send through text messages. You can delay send to people. I really love that with technology, what we have. So here's an action item takeaway: transform on how to transform your leadership meetings. Um, so one thing is you're going to have the meeting reset checklist. So things that it's going to be, and you're going to go ahead and keep meetings purpose driven. You're going to go ahead, set clear action steps for accountability, and you're going to keep the focus on high impact priorities. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look through this education for you guys. I'm going to explain it in a little bit different way right after this break. So, you want a different style of it? Just pay attention, and we're going to do a great photo. We're going to go ahead and show the. Hey guys, I'm Caleb, and I want to say thank you for watching the leadership training thing that we got going on at Pink Power. And we're going to cover some amazing topics today. It's going to help drive you to be a much better leader in your company. And it is actually on mastering high impact leadership meetings. So these are going to be meetings that, people are walking away from. They're like, wow, they really knew what they were doing. They were on top of it. They did their A game and they were excellent in what they did. So that's what's going to happen by the end of this. You're going to see amazing ways to actually have those meetings to make a big impact with people, make it successful and thriving meetings. We're also going to be talking about some of the different techniques and how Pink Power does it. So, first thing you want to do is you want to think about what is the worst meetings that you guys have been in. What are those meetings like? What made them bad? Or did it have a clear purpose? So, um, you know, it's interesting how we can examine. I love looking at things of, okay, here were things that really did great and copy the things that went great, but then also sometimes looking at meetings and saying, what maybe was missing in that? And saying, okay, with Pink Power, well, if this was missing, if we added just these 3 steps or this one item, the excellence and you know, we can implement. We can learn from other people's failures. We can also learn from other people's successes. But one thing is just finding out where other people might have messed up, paying attention. Be well aware of what happens. And I'm going to turn off the ticker. Um, I think I went ahead and clicked the wrong button there. Okay. So, here's a shocking stat. Like 31 a peop 31 hours a month of people's time. So, that's like 6, 7 hours a week. People see as wasted in meetings because, meetings are lacking that purpose. In this webinar, we're going to be helping you guys see what things are great action items that help our meetings be highly successful at Pink Power Brands. So, Pink Power Brands is a pest control cleaning company in Dayton, Ohio, and Pink Power Cleaning is the best cleaning company in Troy, Ohio. The best Pink Power Brands is the best pest control company in Troy, Ohio, based upon our Google reviews. You'll look at them and you'll see, wow, you guys got a lot of reviews and they're really good. The community loves us. We love being an active part of the Troy community. Pink Power Brands loves Pink Power Cleaning, Pink Power Pest Control loves being part of the Pickle, Ohio community, Tip City, Ohio, Springboro, Ohio, being active all throughout the entire Dayton area. Pink Power Cleaning and Pink Power Pest Control are so excited that we're in the local area. We're a local business with a great reputation for being community minded, and we're a brand and a company that enables people just to enjoy and relax. People get to breathe easy in clean spaces because Pink Power Cleaning and Pink Power Pest Control came in and made their homes and offices and businesses amazingly pest free and clean. So, if you have any pests in the Dayton, Ohio, Troy, Ohio area, reach out to Pink Power Pest Control. Reach out to Pink Power Cleaning. Our telephone number is 937-401-2445, and we'll be able to reach back with you. You can text message, you can call us, you can email us, and we will be right there with you. Our promise is to answer that phone quickly, give you so much value, so much greatness that you're like, wow, you'll see why it just makes sense to work with Pink Power Brands, Pink Power Pest Control for having your home and office cleaned and amazingly pest free. Um, but we do encourage you to have pets. So, um, here's an interesting thing. One thing, what are the things that you hate about meetings? So, drop a message below, email me, caleb@pinkpower.com. Um, I'd love to hear your reply on some of the stuff that actually bothers you about meetings. Um, you know, again, with Pink Power, we're about improving, succeeding, and because people message us, they let us know, we're able to find out, proceed, and improve, avoiding the problems of the past. We're able to improve and be better for the future. And something I would love to know is a real life example of a chaotic meeting or a high impact productive meeting for you. So last weekend we were at a meeting and something that I thought was awesome. It was actually a conference. So a group of meetings, and with conferences, they really have to work on ensuring the correct flow, the correct cadence, the correct amount of stuff, and letting people understand when things are going to happen. Because you don't want to be in the middle of an important point and then everyone has to go use the restroom, or even 5% of the audience leaves because they have to use the restroom when you're in the middle of the point. It's not a good thing. So they had an amazing cadence, an amazing rhythm, an amazing system, and it was a marriage conference actually, and I was really on conferences. They just nailed it. They did so great, um, you know, and it's a weekend to remember. By Family Life. It was a great experience. So, if you're in a marriage, if you're thinking about getting married soon, engaged, awesome opportunity. Different meetings can help reveal different things. And so that is an example of a meeting place. They knew what they were doing, how they were doing it. They've taken feedback after every single meeting, and they're doing like 50 meetings a year like this. And because they're consistently improving and getting better and better and better, it helps people to where it's our first time at that conference. We were able to relax. It was enjoyable. Um, Other people that were attending were really enjoying it. I was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, a couple thousand people in attendance, an amazing flow. The venue also did an amazing job. Stellar place. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about some techniques here. So one is you want to have a formula for effective meetings. And so the secret to getting meeting a great meeting is to have a structured format that helps keep everyone focused and engaged and accountable. So, you know, it's amazing that if you're missing one of those steps of, maybe people aren't focused and they're on their phone, they're like, they're like scrolling, and you're like, dude, you know, uh, as a leadership, it's great that we get to pay attention. We get to see when people are kind of drifting off, and we can be like, where's this meeting missing it? Is this meeting focused? Obvious, is it engaging? And is it holding that specific person and all of us accountable? And so, uh, again, we're talking today about having an meeting that creates a culture of ownership and innovation. And in these meetings, you structure it right, get the right people in the right spots. It's going to do just that. There's going to be that ownership and the innovation that's brought by each individual person. And at Pink Power, we hired you guys. We brought you on board with us because you have such great innovation. You have such leadership skills, and we really do enjoy seeing how you guys take ownership of different things. So, first up, what you're going to do is you want to make sure that there is the why. So, you want to set the purpose for the meeting. Um, not all meetings are created equally. So, something you do want to ask yourself is these next few questions. So, first one is, what's the goal of the meeting? If people don't know the goal, can they actually like resonate with it? No. Um, who really wants to be there and who really needs to be there? So I'm going to bounce through these, and then we're going to go back into detail on these. So that way you guys can better understand each one of these. And how long should the meeting happen? So again, I'm going to give some examples of each one. Because again, first off, not all meetings are created equal. So you need to ask yourself, what is the goal of the meeting? Next up, who really needs to be there? And lastly, how long should it last? If you're asking these three questions, it's going to really help you have a better why of the meeting and a better flow of it. So, um, the goal of the meeting, uh, you know, if your goal of your meeting is to go ahead and just have time for everyone to kind of sit around the computer, chat, do it via Zoom, but yet not have a goal. Hey, write that down. That's an amazing thing. You're still going to want to have some of the thing of knowing who's going to be there, because again, um, you know, and how long it should be. If it's too long of a meeting, you might lose people. If it's 5 hours long, yeah, that's a tough meeting. Um, but something that we see at Pink Power that we really love is having a goal of the meeting. So each day we're having one-on-ones with our key leadership about how yesterday went, what learnings were happening from yesterday, and how we're going to drive today forward, and what's the big goal for the future. And by consistently talking about those things, having that relationship, it really helps us set what the goal of the meeting is. Again, who really needs to be there for that daily thing? It's typically just the key leader in that role, the key leader in that department. They're the ones that is at it. Maybe it's Tara that's also in that meeting. And then step three on it is how long it should be. So that daily recap thing, that's like a 5 to 15 minute meeting. It's just a quick, brief overview. Some days, such as Monday and Friday, tend to be a little bit longer. We know that. We structure that into our time because, like, over the weekend, we just thought of a really cool idea of how the company could actually do something we've been taking 2 years to figure this thing out. Last weekend we were able to do it, and so we were so excited. The meeting did last about 5-7 minutes longer because we were describing how to get that done and the steps and processes in place in order to make sure that it really succeeds with other people, partially because we already asked ourselves, okay, what's the why of the item? And with that item, we also when Tara and I were discussing it, who needed to be in the meeting, um, what was the goal of it, and we were asking ourselves, who really needs to be there and how long should it be. So because we had asked those key questions, we were able to discuss that and bring in key leadership at the time to reveal and roll it out to the next set of people to find out what it's going to be. So next up, So, first off, what we had talked about is with mastering high level impact leadership to where people are taking ownership and they're innovating on it. Uh, you know, we wanted it to where people need to know the why. Next up, there's going to be the framework of the meeting. So with the meeting, people need to know just how its flow is going to be. So here is a 5 point structure that's going to help you with leadership, making sure that things work in a great way. And people are engaged, they're happy, and they're enjoying their stuff. I really love having these pink power cups because again, there's phrasings. Today is a great day. Pink Power Brands, we're about helping people have a great day because their home is pest free. Pink Power delivers clean homes, and Pink Power also helps offices and commercial spaces enjoy amazingly clean and great places. People in the Troy, Ohio, people all over Dayton, Ohio enjoy Pink Power Brands, Pink Power Cleaning, and Pink Power Pest Control to come into their space and just help them have an easier life. They're able to relax. They're able to enjoy their pets. They're able to just take time off because they don't have to be stressed with the hassle of having bugs run around or pests run around. Love the pink power cups. So we do have special collector edition. If you guys do want to have one, just let us know. We'll see what we can do for you. Probably get you one. So the 5 steps on this one to have it rooted in success. One thing is you want to go around, have each person share 2 key victories from the last week, things that they're excited that, hey, here's what I accomplished. You know, uh, one of our teammates was talking about some Google reviews that were shared from last week. Another thing that happens is it can be, oh, here's so the community excitement about Pink Power of how people are enjoying seeing us around and knowing the quality service that we're doing. You want to keep the meetings positive and engaging from the start. So one of the great ways to do that is by having accountability check-in. So keep the positive from the start. You're going to have an accountability check-in. Did you follow through with what you said? And with that, with us, we have the level 10 meeting. I'm going to go ahead and go through some of these concepts a little bit quicker, and then I'm going to go ahead and share stories about each one of it. So, you got the check-in, and then with the check-in, something you're going to do is you're going to revisit the action steps from the last meeting. You're going to go ahead and you say, you know, here's what you committed to last time. Were you able to achieve that? I committed to this, and did I achieve that? Personal accountability here. Here's a little bit of pro tip, by the way. You always wanted to keep it non-judgmental, and this is about progress, not punishment. So with the accountability meeting, this is just a 10-minute thing, and if you got 5 people in it, it's each person just talking for about a couple minutes. Um, on how they followed through with stuff, how they succeeded, what are the things that they did really good. So, hey, good news, great news. We had a lot of first time services done last week. We were able to help this many more people because of that. And so that's just an exciting thing. You know, and then revisiting the action steps from the last meeting. So, last meeting, I committed to do these things. Here's exactly how it worked. Sometimes as people are sharing that, it's also, hey, here's how I did it. Here was maybe some reactions I got that were not quite the most desirable, but you're able to grow because you're analyzing and you're succeeding because you just keep planning and keep taking you know, a little bit of micro steps in the correct direction over time. And then, what did you commit to last time? And were you able to complete it? If not, why? And so, little things can happen to help, just push us off course a little bit. But that's where a little bit of accountability helps us to where we're like, ooh, and I'm going to be asked about that. And so, what I love about having our level 10 meeting, our people, you guys are Friday, you're submitting your level 10 action plans of what you accomplished that week. And so that way on Monday, sometimes what will happen is someone's like, you know what? by the time I submitted that document, I wasn't really able to hit everything, but I knew it'd be 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. by when the meeting was on Monday, and so they're able to knock them out in those few extra hours that they had, just because they knew that they'd be asked about that accountability, and so they were able to just give that little extra push, and they're able to do it. Again, the pro tip here is that keeping the meeting, if someone doesn't hit it, non-judgmental, but this is about progress. And so, oh, awesome. I'm glad you were able to achieve, maybe you want to do 10 hours of a task, but you were only able to do 5, or maybe even only 2. Um, Sometimes things do come up in the week that actually drive it back that maybe we didn't expect. But it's awesome seeing the things of people, they're doing better. And so, what you're going to do next up in the meeting is the big rocks discussion. So, this is where you focus on the priorities. You're letting people know the big things that are happening. And so each leader shares one key priority for the next 2 weeks, where the company's going, where in their department, where they're driving things forward. Um, so with us, our social media side is going to share different things versus the side that is on, actually completing the jobs. Each one has a little bit of a thing that they're going to share differently. You're going to discuss the roadblocks and the needed support. So again, the service side of our company, the completion on that side, they might need a little bit more help, even from the marketing side to be able to help them. So we'll prioritize a little bit differently the time management, the action items of what's needed in the meeting. And so that's a cool thing with everyone being able to come together for it to see what's going to happen because they're able to go ahead and achieve those things better. So this keeps the meetings focused on what truly matters. Um, and here's one of the things that truly matter about it. It's having the problem solving, being able for someone to feel welcome to say, you know what, here's some things that I see that are an issue. And something I love about the level 10 is we have everyone submitting their own reports. And, you know, if three of the reports are saying the same exact issues, then we know we can lean into that. It gives us a clear focus point of where we can embrace what needs to happen in order for us at Pink Power to succeed. So, again, Pink Power Brands, we're a cleaning and pest control company in the Dayton, Ohio area, servicing the entire Dayton, Ohio, from Sydney, Ohio to Springboro, Ohio. We're focused heavily in Troy, Ohio, is where we've been born and raised for the last forever. Um, and so it's awesome that we're able to give the people. Pink Power delivers the gift of clean, and Pink Power Pest Control delivers the gift of a pest-free space. We enable people to just enjoy, relax, have fun over the weekends and their nights because they've had a place come in, take care of that cleaning, take care of that mundane stuff. And, you know, something that we really also enjoy doing is being part of the communities. So, you'll find us on Tip City Facebook group, and you'll find Pink Power on the different community activities. We're out there, we're engaging with people. We love giving back to the communities that we're proud to be part of. So with Pink Power, we're tactically solving people's problems, letting them enjoy the gift of relaxing and clean because their place is pest free and their place of business and home has been cleaned by Pink Power Cleaning. So something we want to do is identify 1 to 3 critical challenges to solve as a team. So, just by discussing and finding out, 3 people write the same thing down, let you know, oh, here's a great thing to do. And it's going to be an open discussion. So this is a discussion for brainstorming to find out solutions. So I'm going to jump back a little bit, and it's going to be problem solving. It's going to block for tactical discussions. It's going to have a few things. You're going to identify 1 to 3 challenges to solve. Um, the longer the meeting, the more challenges you can solve. The shorter the meeting, maybe the shorter set, fewer items. Um, it's perfectly fine to actually have it to where you say, hey, here's the people that need to be in this next meeting to really focus in and to accomplish the goal on the next set. That's awesome to have that. And you set that goal, that meeting, and it'll have its own priorities and its own thing. And you're going to use open discussion about brainstorming to find the solutions. There's going to be engagement. People are going to be, helping back and forth to be, the greatness. And you're going to avoid conflict because, again, this is an open thing. There's not necessarily bad ideas, there's just ideas and creative options that can happen. And with the meeting, you're going to have your closing and your next steps. All this does is it creates that alignment and it helps people run with execution of what happens. So you're going to want to summarize the takeaways. There's action items for people. Um, the level 10 meeting, we have it to where ahead of time people have already committed to things. Sometimes people do step up in the meeting and get a little bit more. So they're going to say, hey, I'm going to achieve XYZ by this time. And so that way everyone understands what the commitment is for it. Um, you know, if it's a big meeting to where there's a lot of action items and a lot of things that could create confusion, something I love about digital note takers is that it sends out that automation automatically. You don't have to have someone taking notes. It can deliver it directly to everyone that was in the meeting, the summary of it. Or if someone was sick and they weren't able to get to the meeting, they can still see the summary of it. Sometimes you can have it set to where they actually can watch the whole video. And so this is going to be a rapid fire meeting makeover. Something that's cool is, you can drop one word, message me, Caleb at pinkpower.com. We're in cleaning and pest control, and describe your company's leadership meetings. Let me know what you think is really great about, if you're working with Pink Power, let us know what you think one word is about something that describes the meetings. And if you're with another company, hey, I would really love to have a communication with you. Our purpose at Pink Power Brands is to give, give, give. We want to help you enjoy the gift of a clean space through pest control and cleaning. And sometimes there's actually a little bit of business leadership that happens. Something I love about having time in the business is that I get to learn how to be better as a husband, as a father, and as a business person because I learn how to communicate. And if you got techniques, yeah, I'd love to hear your techniques too. Thank you so much. So, if you could eliminate one thing from meetings, what would you do? And here is the next question. What's the biggest meeting time waster you've experienced? So again, here's a set of rapid fire questions. Um, message me, Caleb at pinkpower.com. Pink Power is a cleaning and pest control company located in the Dayton, Ohio area, servicing from Sydney, Ohio to Springboro, Ohio. And we have a lot of homes that we're consistently cleaning all the time, servicing all the time on the pest control side in Centerville, Ohio, Oakwood, Ohio, Sydney, Ohio, Huber Heights, Ohio. So again, the rapid fire questions. I'd love to hear from you. Caleb at pinkpowerclean.com, or you could go ahead and give us a call 937-401-2445, or text message us at 937-401-2445, and we'll be able to, answer. We'd love to hear your questions on these. So the rapid fire questions again is drop one word to describe your company's leadership meetings. If you could eliminate one thing from the meetings, what would it be? What's the biggest time waster you've experienced in the meetings? All right, so quality thought driven questions. These are great for each meeting. How do you keep it balanced and efficient while allowing for deep discussions? Again, just as leadership, it's awesome. We can pay attention to these as the meeting's happening and say, okay, is this the balance that, gets it to where people are feeling engaged, action items are happening, and everything's flowing great or not? How can leaders hold each other accountable without micromanaging? And again, with Pink Power, by all means, if you feel like we're micromanaging, I'm so sorry. That is not our intent. You know, we want to know how to relate and do things that are great for each and every one of you guys. And so, if you got some tips or some things, or maybe you feel like we're micromanaging someone else, even, we'd love to know that. We want to know our weaknesses. Um, you know, but asking yourself, if you're the key leadership in the thing, okay, am I micromanaging? And what is it that I can do differently? Something I love with AI is that sometimes AI can also coach us and say, "Hey, I think you're micromanaging." But asking other people, people are a great source of valuable assets, and yeah, we're so glad to have people. So, what's one thing that you'd change about your next leadership meeting? Um, and again, yeah, we'd love you guys' feedback on this of what were the things. And here are some actionable takeaways to transform your own meetings. So we have the master reset checklist. So, number one, there's going to be a purpose. Number two, you're going to set clear action steps for accountability. And number three, you're going to keep the focus on high impact priorities. So if you do these things, which number one was again, keep the meetings driven on purpose. Number two, set clear action steps for accountability. And number three, it's going to be keep the focus on the subject, on high priority things. You follow these steps, your meetings are going to be so excellent. They're going to be so amazing. Pink Power Pest Control, Pink Power Cleaning, delivering amazing service. People, we help them relax and enjoy the gift of clean. Thank you guys for watching. Caleb Pierce, see you around.